Hello everybody, Chris Martinez, CEO of websiteinfivedays.com, and today I'm going to talk about the wonderful world of Disney. So about a month ago I heard an awesome story about Disneyland, and everybody hopefully has heard about Disneyland. If you haven't, I'm sorry, and I hope that you get a hug from somebody. But what really fascinated me about Disneyland was the story behind it. Not like today's Disneyland, which is obviously amazing, and they're somehow able to keep raising ticket prices and people are paying. But what's amazing is the start, and that of course came down to Walt Disney, the idea man behind the whole Disney empire. Now, what you might not know is that Disneyland was opened in just about 12 months. They came up with the idea and got the okay to build Disneyland, and just 12 months later, on July 17, 1955, Walt Disney opened the park. Now, if you haven't heard this, the opening day at Disneyland was probably one of the worst failures in history. So one of the problems was that day, they actually had an insane heat wave. It was 110 degrees the day that they opened the park in Anaheim. And if you've never been to Anaheim before, it's pretty far from the coast, so there are no winds. So 110 degrees out there is pretty freaking miserable. One of the other problems is that during the day that they opened the park, there was a huge Plumbers Strike. And so literally like none of the fountains or none of the water features in the entire park worked. And if you've been to Disneyland, there's a lot of water, and so that stuff has got to work. Especially on a 110 degree day, you want to have the drinking fountains working. The last thing is that they sent out invitations to, I think it was around 6,000 to 10,000 people. That day they had 26,000 people show up to the park, and almost all of them had counterfeit tickets. So I don't know about you, but that seems like pretty much the worst opening day that you could possibly have. And to give a lot of credit to Walt Disney because he didn't pack it in and scrap the whole project. Everybody knows that he's one of those guys who just had a vision and he didn't care what anybody else thought and he just went. But it's not like he didn't know that the park wasn't ready to open. He clearly knew that this thing wasn't ready, but he knew in his head that, hey, this is just the first step and this park is going above and beyond anything that's ever been created. So even though we might have some failures today, I'm gonna make this thing successful no matter what. So despite his horrible opening day, just a few months later, he'd already made massive improvements to the park. He'd added rides. He actually ended up changing the ticket structure. When they opened the park, it used to be like a carnival where you would have to pay for each ride. Well, that wasn't gonna work with this particular park. So he ended up coming up with ticket books that would give you access to certain groups of rides. And this was extremely revolutionary for the time. So he started making all these improvements and changes to the park right away. And then now look at the park. I mean, it's the model of success for an amusement park. And they keep innovating and making things better, and everybody keeps going back every single year. So the moral of the story is that there will never be a perfect time for you to launch a particular business or a product. You just need to have the guts to go out there and just go. You do the best that you can with the mindset that I'm gonna make this better over time. You're always gonna be innovating and improving your products and services, so just go and get after it and be like Walt Disney and don't be afraid to fail. Have a great day.